Om Shanti. Accumulate the power of thoughts and become an instrument for elevated service. Pay special attention to your thoughts. You children who have become instruments have to pay special attention to your thoughts. When you remain free from sinful and waste thoughts, your intellect will be able to make a good decision. And when you make a good decision, you will easily be able to resolve everything. Instead of resolving everything, if you yourself continue to make excuses, those who follow you will also continue to make excuses for every situation. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today's day 30. Accumulate the power of thoughts and become an instrument for elevated service. Today's topic: pay special attention to your thoughts. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. Is everyone okay? Yes. Every day our effort is becoming easy but very deep, right? When you hear a signal that this is what Baba wants us to check our thoughts, and then he said every thought. So then first I thought, is it practical? How can we do every thought? But what he's saying, that thought should not be sinful, negative, or it shouldn't be wasteful, because power to discern and then to decide is very, very important. But the beautiful thing is, Baba saying, when you have power to discern, you will find solution. And there won't be any excuse. Baba says, we all instruments, right? Everyone is instrument in some way or other. Have to pay more attention so that those who are with us doesn't find the excuse, because if we doing it, then they will also do it. So instrument has more responsibility than others. So Baba is saying that you children who have become instruments have to pay special attention to your thoughts. What is going on, right? Baba says that when you remain free from sinful thoughts and wasteful thoughts, your intellect will be able to make your intellect is going to make right decisions. And that's so important in life, no? Every step, what we decide. And when you make good decisions, you will easily be able to restore everything instead of resolving everything. You will be easily able to resolve everything instead of resolving everything. If you yourself continue to make excuses, then those who follow you will also continue to make excuses for every situation. We do it, why I cannot do it, right? So as instrument, we cannot make those excuses. I think it's very, very needed at this time because not certain moments, but certain situations will require right type of decisions. So the intellect has to have this attention on our thoughts, not to have wasteful thoughts, not to have sinful thoughts. Why I'm repeating it because I think it's very, very important. Our responsibility as instrument is not only task, but how there are so many who will follow what I do. And what I do depends on how I decide, what I decide. So we create a path for others so they can easily follow. If I am not clear about my path, then those who are behind, right, they will also be not able to decide. So it's a very good point. Baba is saying pay attention to every thought. Om Shanti. Hmm.
Om Shanti, Didi. Om Shanti, Avyakti Parivar. I feel very honored to be able to join you today for chit chat. So, today Baba was saying in the Murli that our it should be seen in our intellect and behavior that we are very refined. So he was referring like not to have any attachment. So I would like to ask you what is your understanding of refinement, and what would be the signs of a refined intellect and refinement in our behavior?
Just 1 second.
Yeah.
No.
It's muted. Okay.
Little bit distraction. Can,
It's
can
okay.
you
It's okay.
can
So
you
Baba was saying in the Muli today that our intellect and behavior should be very refined. So, what is your understanding of what refinement means, and what would be the signs of a refined intellect, and what is refinement in our behavior?
I think that depth of knowledge creates that clarity in us. And if I am following Srimad, following life of Maryadas, so that our interaction as our teachings, that is what they taught us, that interaction shouldn't be like a Lokik way, the words which we use. And so Baba always talks about God's children and royalty, which we should have. So I think that if we adopt all the teachings properly, then our intellect and our interaction with others, even whatever we do, we have to do it in a very refined means. I think it's more like a royal way and not just be simple, not ordinary. Nothing should be alokik. I remember when we came in Gyan, we also amongst ourselves, we will say, my alokik sister, my spiritual sister. So this is what actually we have to pay attention to. Mm.
Do you know, we've been in Avyakti Parivar daily when the daddies are featured, and now with Didi Man Mohini's month, we've been seeing these beautiful, beautiful
Mm.
scenes of their interaction and their friendliness, their closeness. And so, what about friendship in the Brahmin family? What would it look like to be have refinement in that? What would be the boundaries in terms of having friends in the Brahmin family?
Mm. I think friendly nature is good, but I remember Dadi Janki always said, I don't have any friend. And then she will say, all are my friends. So with any particular souls, you have more contact, you have more, whatever it is. Because there is this whole proposal also going on, no, that we should help souls, and but then they become like partners, they become so many situation which has happened and are happening. So sometimes we think that we are friends, but then we start taking support from each other, we start sharing lot of things which actually are not according to Maryada. So when we had to approve, which I haven't yet, that I never had like heart to heart in the sense of it's with Baba, not with any individual. Even like be very friendly, very loving, but you have to also be careful because karmic accounts, sometimes they pull us. Like we could get along with some very well, for some we don't. So, but then karmic account can be, oh, you get along very well, and suddenly something happened, then they have big differences and lot of sorrow is caused. And so we have to be really very, very careful, but also very friendly. I remember the Manmohini always used to tell us that even like you are conversing with someone, let have at least one hand distance in the sense of intimacy of any kind, whether it is mentally, physically, socially. I think that it affects many others. I remember when I came to New York, I had few souls staying with me, but some or other I felt quite lonely because they will sit and talk all day. And I am not a person who can just sit and talk all day. But then I realized that how that helped me to one Baba, one is support, one strength. And I always in my life, even if I had support of everyone, Dadi's love, everyone really lot of support. But still internally I keep aim that my intellect shouldn't depend on that. I should still be just with Baba. So friendship is good. To be friendly is good, but not one to one, in the sense you could very clearly see that. And then not only that, but the influence of each other. Because when you hear them say same thing, then you say, what's going on? Because they are influencing each other by what I am going through, then it's not you going through same too. So it's a lot of, I think, we all are aware of. So I would say be loving, be friendly, but also not just one strength and one support of Baba is very important. So that there is no sorrow caused, right?
Right.
But we find this happens and it could last, but also we have to be, others have impact of that. And they say, look at them. They want same room, they want same place, they want same of this, and wherever they are, they want to be together. So everyone notices that, right? I'm not saying it is bad or good, but again, it's kind of people have wasteful thoughts about all these things.
Didi, if someone feels that they need to speak to someone because they feel that they're not overcoming something and their relationship with Baba is somehow blocked or something, what would be like your advice, like who to talk to, or if they feel they need to be heard, which
Mhm.
is sometimes the case, what would be the attitude on both sides? Someone offering that possibility to listen to others, and at the same time, those who feel that they are heard, that they can talk to someone.
So I think once there is spirituality, in the sense of I cannot talk to everyone, right? It's only when I see that this soul is on journey and soul is in remembrance of Baba and spiritual, then it's okay, to share because you will share. Sometimes you cannot do with the instrument. So these days, lot in Brahmins, this is going on. They're looking for some kind of somebody could listen to them and not repeat it, not keep any attitude then towards them because even now during Brahma Baba's time, Baba said, some don't come to Baba and tell Baba, I made this mistake because they think Baba won't like me then or others. So I think that if those who have a stable stage and not habit of gossiping or repeating or they might start following so much. So we have to be, it's good to be listening, which is important, but also, I feel that we should not create also anyone's habit, in the sense of, especially when it comes to talking about others and all that. So it's better not to, be careful with that also.
Right,
Mhm.
right. Thank you, Didi. Great advice. In I think it was a couple of days back in Avyakti Parivar, you were talking about referring to pure elevated thoughts, but that we had to check that there was not even a subtle kind of dishonesty of wanting something in being Baba's instruments. So when Baba gives us, these great ideas for service and we get very enthusiastic about doing it, where does this aspect of being very honest, because we feel pulled to to be in action. So how can we know that I am being driven by action and not just like the wave of enthusiasm of something, in an honest way, thinking in an honest way? So what would it be like not wanting to take from what we're doing, or sometimes it feels like we can't stop doing? So what would be this pure elevated thought?
I think that once in your life, there is balance of your yoga, action, relationships. So if there is proper balance, then that means there are no desires. But it's like you are in actions, but not paying attention to relationship, or, it's like if it's not lot of interest only in action, but to have yoga also. Like we always say, Amrit Vela is important, or in the evening 7 o'clock meditation is. Even we have service, but if people know, even those who come, they know at 7 they will be meditating. It's such a popular, good image when new ones also say, our teacher must be in meditation now. But we are available, it's all right. I do 7 o'clock yoga or not. So if there is not that timetable and the discipline and the balance, then that means there is something which is you are driven by. Is it your sanskar or is it desire or, but otherwise, with Brahma Baba, with Mama, even Dadis, Dadi Janki, even she's sitting with Dadiji and talking. If it's 7 o'clock, Dadi Janki will just say, no, we have to meditate. And so other Dadis will say, but let's do what we are doing. She will say no. So I think that if we keep discipline, our timetable accurate, and I think then definitely it's a good example. And it's not you are driven. Some people say, oh, she has this habit, let her do. She has this. You open the things at 7, and then that means you're doing it wrong time, anything. So I think we have to be disciplined and proper balance of everything. Then you are not deceived by your habit. You are not deceived by your sanskar or even desires. So that's why Baba has given us all these, not only maryadas, but timetable also. Do it, stick to it is very important. Like listening to Murli, sitting properly in class or even in Zoom. No, it's a discipline, but at that time, some are drinking tea, some said, oh, I have something to do. Yeah, that doesn't work. That's
Mm.
not right.
Didi, you're an example of this balance of self-progress. Baba was asking us to do a self-progress plan on the Sunday, in the Sunday Muli, and service combined. So you do so much at a physical level. We know how many meetings and phone calls and things you have to attend. And at the same time, you do so much on the subtle level. What has become refined for you in that balance now? The balance of your self-progress and the service combined.
Yeah, because you know, if I am doing something for a year or two, I'm not very happy with that because I want to do something more different and elevated, even in serving souls. So internally, because I feel if I am progressing, then automatically my everything will be better and better. But if I go and keep doing, I see souls day and night for years doing same. So I said, why change is not happening? I remember once we were in Queens. Now we used to live Queens Center, and Dadi Janki came that day, for. And so in the house there was such a smell of bread. So because Dadi was coming, so Dadi came in and said, "Who made bread?" So I remained quiet because I used to bake bread at that time and my bread used to be very good. So Dadi was coming, I thought guest will come. So, oh, you still make bread? So I said, I thought I am doing something good. I didn't realize that, they want to see there are many who else can make. And same when I was in Delhi, I remember Didi, Dadi, they used to come. So there were certain things I knew to do. So when they are resting, I will quietly go and do it. But they come to know that I have done it. Oh, you are still doing it. So first I didn't understand what they mean, still doing. That means I didn't prepare the souls. I didn't, somewhere other they want to see that we progress. And I thought only way is when I internally progress, then automatically in my actions and everything there will be change. So
That's
self, it's very important to, I think, to be more subtle, to be more refined, and
yeah.
like I
Well,
still, after 4 o'clock when I wake up early, but around 4, I turn on Murli and I listen to Murli, and then wherever the class Murli is going on, I listen, hear that also. And then during day, it's like, so how do we make our intellect refine, our thoughts refine? Even when we speak, I choose the words in a such a way which I enjoy to, appropriate words in an appropriate way, not long, short, but you say everything what you have to say. I mean, all that I keep training myself to progress in all different ways.
well, we certainly feel that, Didi. You are more and more and more refined every day. Such depth. And my last question is about Didi Man Mohini. We have heard such beautiful um, experiences from those who met her, her interaction with the daddies. She's the icon of sweetness. She had only Baba in her heart. And we just had a session before coming here called the Living Yagya that we do for Latin America. And Ken was telling us that Didi Mamohini didn't give so many classes, but like her presence, her drishti. So she was different to all the daddies and mama. And I was thinking of her like it's a very powerful inspiration that um, she was just herself. She was she was not like all the others gave classes. All the others were so each daddy is so unique in their own way. But Didi was quite different to them all. And I thought it's so beautiful for everyone to see that in this yagya, each one can only be their best of who they are. They don't need to compare. They don't need to be jealous. Baba was saying about jealousy being like a trace of anger. But she had this perfect love of being extremely loving and yet completely detached. Can you just share a
Uh,
little bit about her being detached?
you
What,
know,
how,
yeah,
yeah.
we are taught by Baba to be all rounder because there was a time we never had departments or duties. So you have to know everything, do everything. But then time comes where we also see that there are many, arms which are the way we do it, then they do. I feel very happy when I see so many came very young ones and now they are, grown. But also some are very particular into somewhere they're not able to create those kind of souls. Souls are there, but to inspire them. So Didi was very gentle, very loving, but very firm. Firm on the way that Baba says it, so we have to do it. Even for service, Whatever Baba said, Baba want museum, so Didi make sure that it gets done. So very much gentle and loving, but also very much. I think we don't need to be detached. If you are doing what Baba wants you to do, you are detached. You have to detach yourself, then only you can do it. I remember that when Didi told me about, so I was still in university and Jaipur was like 5 hours train. So weekend I will go and help there in Jaipur. Then I come back and so, but she wanted that it has to be. And I said, okay, if Baba wants it, let's see. So at that time, there were one or two brothers. They're not in body now. So they also came to help. And so she was very much firm, but also very loving. If you do what Baba wants you to do, you are detached because you're not doing what you want to do, right? You're doing what Baba wants. If you are not detached, you will be stuck. You will be just sitting and, you could see that that soul cannot move because, suddenly I think somewhere that realization needs to be more, as soon as there is realization, the transformation happens.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Beautiful,
I
Didi.
mean,
Thank you. Sorry.
many, many good instrument. Kalaban was traveling and she came to me, she said, this soul, okay, so many things. Only she will give course, only she will read poorly, only. So can you help her, So I said, of course. And for us, like as many souls can do it, because then it's like that's where our progeny grow.
Right.
And so that's very important. So everyone has, I feel sometimes that somewhere Maya reserves certain thing in instruments so that they can't go very fast. And if there is realization, then definitely not only self progress, but everything grows.
Thank you, Didi. My time is over. It's wonderful, wonderful to be with you and in Avyakti Parivar, but also this month of Didi has been like a refreshment. It's like bathing in a wave of purity and true love. So thank you very, very much to Avyakti Parivar for making the daddies and the Didis so alive, so wonderful, so close. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Moraben.